I want to talk to the world, especially the diaspora population, about the African or the especially the Cameroonian population in China. Um, One thing we must know is that when foreigners used to go to China, the key reason was to do business, study, and also work. Some of those job offers in China were based on trade, and secondly, based on language training. The key, the first jobs that were available for foreigners in China was in language training, teaching English. Over the years, we all know how smart China is. Chinese began to learn English from far back, and on daily basis, the government system, the educational system, they imposed English and made it imperative and made it rife. What does this tell you? Tells you that in 10 years, in a few years, the whole country will be doing English easily. Everyone in the country will have a basic knowledge of English. That's still not the case in China right now. They still do not speak as much English as we suppose, but they do have a degree of improvement in language learning, especially the English language. It is very difficult to step in China recently and be lost in the language. Definitely, you get someone who will be able to understand you and who can speak to you. For this reason, they have now jumped into occupying the other trades. Considering that China is one of the most populated countries in the world, they will prefer to employ their local indigenous in every career, every field. So it came to a time when those who learn English here started using English to help them penetrate the global market. But once they started speaking English and doing and learning and speaking English very well, they started going to the global markets on their own. Worse still, there was a conflict between Microsoft, not Microsoft, Google, and China. That's when Facebook, YouTube, Instagram were all banned from China, which means unless you have some foreign ties, you will not be able to access these platforms. And these platforms carry with them a huge market, huge following, huge number of users. And these users are convertible into uh, business partner, into leads. So foreigners were equally required to do this in China in order to get this. But nowadays, China being so smart has given some degree of access to these platforms to companies that do trade. Well, I want to say this particularly to those in diaspora and those back in Africa who want to use foreigners in China for business.